Let me take a 2-week trip with my ex or no wedding, my fiancé snapped. 3 months before our wedding, I said, fine, and started canceling vendors as she packed. Then her iPad lit up with a message that, I'm 31M, sitting here at 2 a.m. trying to process what just happened, and I keep waiting for it to make sense. It doesn't. My fiancée Brielle, 29F, and I have been together for 3 years, engaged for 6 months. We're supposed to get married in 3 months. The venue's booked, the photographer's locked in, deposits are everywhere, and her mom's been texting me dress-fitting updates like clockwork. 2 days ago, Brielle told me her first love was back in town. His name's Cole. They dated in college, broke up when he moved abroad for work, and according to Brielle, that was 8 years ago and ancient history. She's mentioned him maybe twice in our entire relationship, always in passing, always with the energy of, yeah, that happened, it's done. Except apparently, it's not done. Cole reached out to her last week, said he was back in the States permanently, wanted to catch up, talk about closure, and where things went wrong. Brielle told me about it casually over dinner, like it was nothing. I said that was fine. Grab coffee, get your closure, move on. Then yesterday, she dropped the real ask. So Cole and I have been talking more, and I think I need to do this properly. I want to take a 2-week trip with him, just to close that chapter before we get married. I put down my fork. A 2-week trip, with your ex, 3 months before our wedding. Yes. I need this, Evan. I can't move forward into marriage knowing there's unfinished business. Don't you want me to be fully present when we say our vows? I tried to stay calm. Brielle, I want you to have closure, but a 2-week vacation with your ex isn't closure. That's something else. She got defensive immediately. Why are you being like this? I'm being honest with you. I'm telling you what I need. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Communicate? Communicating is one thing. Asking me to be okay with you disappearing for 2 weeks with another man right before we get married is different. That's when she said it. If you don't let me go on this trip with Cole for 2 weeks, there won't be a wedding. I just stared at her, waiting for the punchline, the just kidding, anything that would make this make sense. She doubled down. We're not married yet, Evan. I can still make my own decisions, and I'm deciding I need this. So you can either trust me and let me go, or we can call the whole thing off. I felt something shift in my chest. Not anger, at least not yet. More like clarity. You're giving me an ultimatum. 2 weeks with your ex, or we're done. I'm giving you a choice. Don't make this dramatic. I stood up, walked to the window, tried to find words that wouldn't make this worse. Failed. Brielle, if you think this is a reasonable ask, then I don't think we should get married. Her face changed. Are you serious right now? You just told me you'd rather cancel our wedding than skip a vacation with your ex. So yeah, I'm serious. She started crying. Not sad crying, angry crying. This is exactly what I was afraid of. You're being controlling. You're making this about you when it's about me processing my past. I'm not stopping you from processing anything. But I'm also not going to pretend I'm okay with this just because you framed it as emotional growth. She grabbed her phone, started texting someone. Then she looked up at me with this expression I'd never seen before. Cold, calculated. Fine. I'm going anyway. You can spend the next 2 weeks thinking about whether you want to marry me. And if you try to stop me or cancel anything, everyone will know exactly how insecure you are. She went to the bedroom, started packing. I followed her, still trying to process what was happening. Brielle, can we just talk about this? You're about to walk out 3 months before our wedding over you not trusting me. Over you being threatened by a man I haven't seen in 8 years. Yeah, Evan, I am. She zipped up her suitcase, grabbed her purse, stopped at the door. Think about what matters more to you, your ego or our future. Then she left. I stood there in our apartment, my apartment, actually. She moved in after we got engaged, surrounded by wedding planning binders and vendor contracts, trying to figure out what the hell just happened. About an hour later, I was cleaning up dinner when I saw her iPad on the coffee table. We share an iCloud account, something she set up months ago so we could coordinate calendars and share photos. The Messages app synced. I wasn't snooping. The notification just popped up. But once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. Message to her best friend. Booked the trip. Got us a suite with one bed because it's cheaper, and honestly, if we end up hooking up, whatever. I told Evan if he freaks out, I'll just call him controlling and he'll fold. He always does. I screenshot it. Then I saw the booking confirmation in her email. A luxury resort. 1 king bed. 2 weeks. That's when I stopped feeling hurt and started feeling something else. Relief, maybe. Because now I knew exactly what this was. Not closure. Not processing. Not emotional growth. Just someone who wanted permission to cheat on me and make it my fault if I said no. I sat down with my laptop and started making calls. Update 1. After I found those messages, I didn't sleep. Just sat on the couch with my laptop, going through every contract, every vendor agreement, every deposit we'd made for this wedding. The thing about planning a wedding is you sign a lot of papers. And in our case, I'd signed almost all of them. My credit card, my name, my email as primary contact. Brielle had been involved in the decisions, the flowers, the menu, the music. But the actual logistics? That was me. Around 6 a.m., I started making calls. Called the venue first. Explained the situation as professionally as I could. The wedding's off. What are my options? They were surprisingly understanding. We'd lose about 40% of the deposit, but we could cancel without additional penalties since we were outside the 90-day window. Photographer next. She was cool about it, said she'd had a last-minute cancellation for another date and could resell our slot. Refunded us everything minus a $500 rebooking fee. Florist, caterer, DJ, worked my way down the list. Some were more flexible than others. By noon, I'd recovered about 60% of what we'd put down. The rest was just gone. Call it the price of clarity. My sister Nora called while I was on with the cake lady. Mom just texted me. She said Brielle posted something on Instagram about taking time for herself. What's going on? I told her everything. The ultimatum, the messages, the one-bed suite. She was quiet for a long time. Then, "You're calling it off, right?" "Already did." "Good. Want company?" "Not yet. I think I need to do something first." After I hung up, I opened a new browser tab and started looking at flights. If Brielle could take 2 weeks to process her past, I could take 2 weeks to process my future. The future I'd just gotten back. I booked a flight to Zurich, then a rail pass through Switzerland and northern Italy. Lauterbrunnen, Lake Como, the Dolomites. Places I'd wanted to visit for years but kept putting off because we were saving for the wedding, or saving for the house, or saving for the future. Turns out, the future I was saving for didn't exist. During all this, my phone kept buzzing. Brielle, sending these weird temperature-swinging texts. "You're being so immature about this. I miss you. Why aren't you answering? Don't do anything stupid with the wedding. We'll talk when I get back. You're really going to throw us away over this?" I didn't respond to any of them. What was there to say? She'd made her choice at that dinner table. I was just respecting it. 2 days after she left, I got an email from the venue coordinator. Subject line, "Urgent, name change request." I opened it, already knowing what I'd find. Brielle had called them, told them there had been a miscommunication, and that I'd agreed to let her take over the primary contact. She wanted to change the contract to her name, keep the date, keep everything locked in. The coordinator was emailing me to confirm. "Your fiancé mentioned you both discussed this, but we need written authorization from you since you're the primary signer and financial guarantor." I forwarded them the screenshots, the ultimatum text, the message about calling me controlling, the booking confirmation for her trip with Cole. Then I wrote back, "There's been no miscommunication. I canceled this wedding 2 days ago for the reasons shown in the attached screenshots. Please do not make any changes to any contracts without my explicit written authorization. If she contacts you again, please refer her to me directly." The coordinator responded within an hour. "Understood. We've noted this in your file and will not accept any change requests from Ms. Taylor. We're sorry for what you're going through." The next morning, I got a call from the photographer. Brielle had tried the same thing with her. I sent the same screenshots. Same result. She'd tried to keep the wedding going without me, like I was the replaceable part. That's when I realized I wasn't just dodging a bullet. I was dodging an entire artillery strike. I fly out tomorrow, 2 weeks in the Alps, alone, with nothing but my camera and my thoughts. People keep asking if I'm running away. Maybe I am, but I'm running toward something too, toward the version of my life that doesn't include someone who'd give me an ultimatum and then try to hijack our wedding when I didn't fold. Brielle's still on her trip, still sending occasional texts. I haven't blocked her yet. Part of me wants to see how far this goes. But I haven't responded either. My dad called yesterday. Your mom's worried about you. Tell her I'm okay. Better than okay, actually. You sure about all this? Calling off a wedding is a big decision. So is getting married to someone who books a one-bed suite with their ex and calls it closure. I'm sure, Dad, he laughed. Fair enough. Send us pictures from Switzerland. I will. But first, I'm going to sit in this lounge, drink this overpriced airport whiskey, and process the fact that my life just completely changed because I refused to be okay with something that wasn't okay. And honestly, I feel lighter than I have in months. Update 2. I'm writing this from a small hotel room in Lauterbrunnen, Switzerland, looking out at the Alps, and I still can't quite believe the last 2 weeks have been real. But first, let me tell you what happened when Brielle got back. I'd been gone for about 10 days when I started getting the calls, dozens of them. All from Brielle, all going straight to voicemail because I'd set her contact to Do Not Disturb. I didn't listen to them right away. I was busy hiking the Schilthorn Trail, taking photos of waterfalls, eating cheese in mountain villages, and generally remembering what it felt like to breathe without the weight of someone else's chaos on my chest. But eventually, curiosity got the better of me. The first few messages were confused. Evan, why isn't my key working? Did you change the locks? Then angry, you changed the fucking locks? Are you serious right now? Where am I supposed to go? Then desperate, please just talk to me. I don't understand what's happening. This is my home too. Except it wasn't. The apartment's in my name. The lease is mine. She'd moved in after we got engaged, but she'd never been on the paperwork. I'd thought about adding her after the wedding. Glad I didn't. I'd had a locksmith come out the day after I canceled the wedding, changed all the locks, updated building security with her removal from the approved guest list. While I was at it, I'd packed up her stuff, clothes, toiletries, the books she'd never read, that collection of decorative candles she kept buying, and put it all in a storage unit across town. I'd paid for 3 months up front. Figured that was more than fair. She called again, and again, left a voicemail crying, then one yelling, then one that was trying to sound rational. Evan, we need to talk about this like adults. You can't just lock me out of my home. This is illegal. I'm calling the police. I almost laughed at that one. Almost. Instead, I sent her 2 things. First, a photo, the view from my hotel room. Mountains, valley, that unreal Swiss morning light that looks fake until you're standing in it. Caption, I'm taking the trip I actually deserve. Second, a text with an address, the storage unit, the code to get in, and one line, your stuff is here. Please don't contact me again. She responded immediately. Where are you? What trip? Are you seriously on vacation right now? I didn't answer. She tried calling. I declined it. She texted again. Evan, I just went to see Cole for closure. That's all it was. I love you. I want to marry you. Please come home so we can fix this. I turned my phone face down and went to breakfast. That afternoon, I got a text from my sister Nora. Brielle just called Mom, said you abandoned her and she doesn't know where you are. Mom's worried. Call her? I called. My mom answered on the first ring. Evan, sweetheart, what's going on? Brielle said, Mom, did she tell you why I'm not there? She said you had a fight about her needing space to process some things, and when she came back, you'd locked her out. Did she mention the 2-week trip she took with her ex? Or the one-bed suite she booked? Or the text where she said she'd call me controlling if I objected? Silence. She went on vacation with her ex-boyfriend right before your wedding? Yeah. And when I said that crossed a line, she told me if I didn't let her go, there wouldn't be a wedding. So I respected her wishes. There isn't a wedding. My mom exhaled slowly. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I'm okay, Mom. Actually, I'm better than okay. I'm in Switzerland. I'm hiking. I'm thinking clearly for the first time in months. Good. You stay there as long as you need. Don't let her guilt you into coming back. I won't. After I hung up, I checked my messages again. There were new ones from Brielle. People are asking me what happened to the wedding. What am I supposed to tell them? Your family won't talk to me. They're acting like I did something wrong. You're really going to throw away 3 years over this? I almost responded to that one. Almost pointed out that she was the one who threw it away the moment she gave me that ultimatum. But what was the point? She'd already decided I was the villain in her story. Nothing I said would change that. Instead, I got a message from someone I didn't recognize. A number I didn't have saved. Hey man, don't know if you know me. Friend of Cole's. Thought you should know. Brielle's been posting stories from their trip. Couple-ish stuff. And I saw her wearing what looked like an old ring. Not your engagement ring. Thought you deserved to know. He attached screenshots. Brielle and Cole at a beach. Brielle and Cole at a restaurant. Brielle's hand in one shot. And yeah, there was a ring. Simple band. Looked worn. Definitely not the one I'd given her. I saved the screenshots. Added them to the folder I'd been building. Not because I wanted revenge, but because I knew this wasn't over. People like Brielle don't just let go when they lose control. They escalate. The rest of my trip was quieter. I hiked the Dolomites, took a train to Lake Como, spent a few days in a small village where nobody knew me and nobody asked questions. I ate good food, drank local wine, and for the first time in years, I didn't feel like I was performing for anyone. I wasn't the ambitious tech guy. I wasn't the reliable fiancé. I wasn't the person who was supposed to have it all figured out. I was just me, in the mountains, processing the fact that I'd almost married someone who'd given me an ultimatum and then tried to manipulate her way back in when I called her bluff. The night before I flew home, I sat on my hotel balcony and looked out at the Alps one last time. Thought about Brielle, about the wedding that wasn't happening, about the life I'd been planning that had just evaporated, and I realized something. I didn't miss her. I missed the idea of her. The version I'd built in my head who wouldn't have done this. But that version never existed. And I was done pretending she did. When I landed back in the States, there were 47 unread messages from Brielle. I didn't open any of them. My life was different now. Better. And I was going to protect that. Final update. It's been 2 months since Switzerland, 2 months since I canceled the wedding, changed the locks, and stopped responding to Brielle's messages. I thought it was over. I really did. Then I got a text last week. I have some things of yours that got mixed in with my stuff. Can we meet to exchange? Just coffee, neutral place, no drama. I should have known better. But there were a few things I'd been looking for. My grandfather's watch, some documents, a few books. I figured 30 minutes in a public place, get my stuff back, be done. I suggested a coffee shop. Midday Saturday. She agreed. I showed up 10 minutes early, ordered a coffee, sat near the door. Wanted a clear exit if things got weird. Then the door opened and my stomach dropped. My parents walked in. Then Brielle's parents. Then my sister Nora. Then Brielle's brother Miles. Both entire families, filing into this coffee shop like they'd been invited to some surprise party. I looked at Nora. She looked as confused as I felt. Brielle came in last, dressed like she was going to a job interview. Composed. Purposeful. Everyone sat down at the big table in the back. Someone had clearly reserved it. Brielle gestured for me to sit in the empty chair next to her. "What is this?" I asked, still standing. "Evan, please. Just sit. We all need to talk." I stayed standing. "You said you wanted to return my stuff. You didn't say you were staging an intervention." Brielle's mom put a hand on my arm. "Sweetheart, we're all here because we love you both. We want to help you work through this." I pulled my arm back. Work through what exactly? That's when Brielle started crying. Not the angry crying from before. This was different. Practiced. "I messed up," she said. "I know I did. I was scared of getting married, and I handled it in the worst way possible. I hurt you, and I'm so sorry." She looked around the table. Everyone was watching. Her dad nodded at her, encouraging. "I've been in therapy," she continued. "Working through my commitment issues, my fear of intimacy. And I've realized that what I did was a defense mechanism. I pushed you away before you could leave me. And I'm sorry. My dad cleared his throat. Evan, we've been talking with Brielle and her family. She's clearly made some mistakes, but some mistakes. I looked at him. She gave me an ultimatum, told me if I didn't let her take a 2-week vacation with her ex, she'd cancel the wedding. So I canceled it for her. Brielle's voice got smaller. I didn't think you'd actually do it. I thought you'd fight for me. Fight for you by letting you go on vacation with another man? In a 1-bed suite? Her mom's face changed. A 1-bed suite? She didn't tell you that part? Or the part where she told her friend she'd call me controlling if I freaked out? Or the part where she tried to hijack our wedding contracts while she was gone? Brielle was full-on sobbing now. I was scared. I didn't know what I was doing. But I'm here now, and I'm ready to fix this. She stood up, wiped her eyes, and then she said it. I'm pregnant. The table erupted. Brielle's mom gasped. My mom's hand went to her mouth. My dad looked at me like I'd been keeping secrets. Brielle kept talking through the noise. I found out last week. I'm 8 weeks along. And I know this complicates things, but... She took a breath, steadied herself, then dropped to one knee. Evan, I'm asking you again. Will you marry me? Will you be a family with me? Everyone was staring at me, waiting for me to do the right thing, to be the stand-up guy, to make an honest woman out of her and give this baby a father. The weight of their expectations was crushing. I looked at Brielle, on her knee in the middle of this coffee shop, tears streaming down her face, and I started laughing. Not mean laughter, just the kind that comes out when something is so absurd you can't process it any other way. Get up, I said. She didn't move. Brielle, get up. She stood, slowly, confused by my reaction. I looked around the table. At my parents, her parents, our siblings. At this carefully orchestrated ambush designed to manipulate me into doing what everyone thought I should do. Then I said it. I thought the baby's father would be here. The table went dead silent. Brielle's face drained of color. What? I pulled out my phone. Opened the photos folder I'd been curating for 2 months. The screenshots from her trip. The photos of her with Cole. The one where you could see the ring on her left hand that wasn't the one I gave her. You went on a 2-week trip with your ex. You booked a 1-bed suite. You were photographed wearing what looks like his old ring. I showed the photos to the table, let everyone see what I'd been sitting on. So if you're 8 weeks pregnant, that means you conceived right around the time you were gone. Which raises a pretty simple question. Whose baby is it? Brielle tried to speak. Evan, we didn't. It's yours, I swear. You swear? I cut her off. The same way you swore you just needed closure. The same way you swore you'd never give me an ultimatum and then did exactly that. Her dad stood up. Young man, you can't just accuse her of... I'm not accusing her of anything. I'm stating facts. She left for 2 weeks. She stayed in a 1-bed suite with her ex. She came back, and now she's pregnant. Those are the facts. You all can draw your own conclusions. I turned to Brielle. If you are pregnant, and if it is mine, I'll do everything legally required. Paternity test, child support, custody arrangements, all of it. But I'm not marrying you. Not because of some baby. Not because our families think it's the right thing to do, and definitely not because you orchestrated this whole performance to manipulate me back in. Brielle's mom was crying now. How can you be so cold? Cold. I looked at her. Your daughter gave me an ultimatum that ended our relationship. Then she tried to take over our wedding while she was gone. Then she showed up here with both our families to corner me into fixing this. That's not love. That's control, and I'm done being controlled. I looked at my parents. If you want to stay and work this out, that's your choice, but I'm leaving. I walked to the door. Behind me, I could hear voices rising. Brielle crying. Her brother saying something about responsibility. My sister saying something back. But I kept walking. Outside, the air felt cleaner, lighter, like something had been released. Nora caught up with me at my car. Holy shit. Yeah. Did you know about the pregnancy? Not until 5 minutes ago. Do you think it's yours? Honestly, no idea, but I know one thing. I'm not marrying someone who'd use a pregnancy as leverage to trap me into a relationship I already left. She hugged me. I'm proud of you. For what? For not folding. For standing up for yourself even when everyone was pressuring you to do what they thought was right. I drove home alone, sat in my apartment, my quiet, drama-free apartment, and thought about what just happened. Part of me felt guilty. Part of me wondered if I'd been too harsh. Part of me thought about that baby, if it existed, if it was mine, what that would mean. But the bigger part of me felt relief, because I'd almost married someone who'd manipulate not just me, but both our families, to get what she wanted. Someone who'd weaponize a pregnancy and a public proposal to back me into a corner. And I'd walked away from it, twice.